Welcome back to Real Civil Architect, and welcome back to Subnautica. Today, you have 15 minutes of information about the game that probably will not help you play the game, but some of it will be beneficial. Mostly secrets, but some features that can also help, where to find important things, how things function. So, without further ado, we're going to start with the first one. Fits with our intro. Crashfish are not hostile and released after being in an alien containment unit. You can grab their eggs right inside their nests. Pretty easy to find, actually. Raise them and put them in a propulsion cannon. They're an insta-kill for anything. There are 5 different tablets in the game. They can all be found with console commands. This strange white tablet takes up 4 slots instead of 1. And this red tablet, which is the same size as the normal one, and one or the other activates a Sea Emperor dialogue, but she doesn't say anything. It's kind of strange to watch. You can find engine fragments in the cargo bay. I think it's up to random chance because I couldn't find any in this video, but in my survival playthrough, I did. I don't know if I'll include that for my survival playthrough. I don't know if I have to do that. I don't. Okay, well. There were engine fragments in here. Better places to find them. Low down by the mountain island. Little reapers there, you're fine. Underwater islands, ton of bone sharks, don't recommend. Back of the Aurora, if you're suicidal. But those are the places you can find it. If you're lucky, you might find it elsewhere I didn't mention, but I think that's about it. That's about everywhere. You can find a Cyclops efficiency module in the drive core. Everyone knows this. You can also find a depth module in the Seamoth Bay, which is not as well known. And a fact that almost nobody on Earth knows, you can find a storage module in the Prawn Bay after extinguishing all the fire. All of the fire has to be extinguished. Otherwise, you can't grab it. Fragments. These 5 tablets are really cool together. They should have kept them. They should have done something with them. They all have the same animation for being picked up. The only reason the others didn't show it is because I had picked them up already. When using the unlock all doors command, it gets a little iffy with doors that were never meant to be opened at all. Leads straight out of bounds. There's also 2 in the living quarters hall that just lead straight to black. I completely forgot that cabin 1 existed. I'm sorry whoever lived in here. I guess I just never came in here. I never got the code to for the first time I played, and the second time was a speed run. Cabin 2? Why'd you have to do cabin 2 that dirty, yo? Cabin 2 do to you? This door is the only door in the Aurora that doesn't open by the command. And it doesn't open laser doors either. Why? Oh, there's Mercury, too. It can't be refined, but it can be drilled. You'll see the drillable version later in the video when I start screwing around a lot more. Also, there's the transfuser. Nobody's favorite tool. You steal DNA from fish and you can become them. Riley's maintenance log, that's not important at all. It gives you a code to something that doesn't exist. This weird part that's sticking up in the living quarters. It's annoying, Abraxas. Fix it. Unstucking doesn't put you back in bounds. Abraxas, I swear to God. Call me, Abraxas. We can talk this out, Abraxas. You get to live. I just need to fix this. Oh, and this is what the underside of the Aurora looks like. I'm glad the Aurora's there. I would not miss what looks like a child with chicken pox. Also, there's those weird semi-translucent purple particles. They go down beneath these two layers here into what's seemingly forever. Not much else to be seen. A couple layers of metal, but none of this can be accessed. I had to use warp commands just to get past the invisible walls into it. There's a bunch of weird written dialogues for the game. Some of them aren't even written, they're just weird. Listen to them.
Ground message is being broadcast throughout this facility. Partial translation available. Message reads, warning, unidentified craft in orbit of this planet will be destroyed. Prevent.
This message is entirely empty, and despite hitting play, nothing happens.
Signal 4, alien thermal plant, added.
Why'd you remove it? Sunbeam message obsolete. Bunch of corrupted messages.
Warning, without variety in your diet, your fluid and nutrient levels will decrease. Short-range scans show a cave system, rich in fossilized remains beneath this area. The alien facility in this region is larger than any other encountered on 4546b. Approach with caution. Warning, endorphin levels low. Consider taking a seat and meditating. It may help to remember that problems exist only where you choose to see them. Environment, uncharted, ocean planet.
You can just read this.
Water contamination.
It's in another log. Abraxas. You got a cat on your keyboard and a bunch of corrupted files. Why couldn't have you just put them corrupt?
Windows improve the aesthetics of your habitat at the expense of structural integrity.
So like computers.
Scans indicate an abundance of mineral deposits in this area. The status of the Aurora's crew and the ship's long-range comm really is indeterminate. Exploring the crash site may provide further information.
Duh.
This is an automated distress signal from Aurora Lifebot 17.
Bye-bye, Ted.
Shut up. Please send immediate emergency relief team.
Hazardous radiation detected. Fabricate a radiation suit to protect against undesirable side effects.
Duh.
Please observe safety protocol CSP-21 before handling classified cargo.
Skip to 1046 if you hate data, and if you like data, slow to 0.25x. This is just a bunch of data logs that stuck out to me. There's even one secret voice log. A few people know that if you feed reapers and stalkers peepers, their attack will fail and they will instead take the peeper. But they don't seem very grateful for their gifts most of the time.
Passing 100.
This is drillable Mercury. I don't know why I spawned it up here. That ends up just being hell. My dumbass still can't realize you can't just fly in Subnautica. It drops normal Mercury. I tested after recording. Oh, come on. Why'd I leave this in the final cut? Let's sit through this in my final voiceover and it's being all hell. You can't craft the transfuser despite it being a full-on recipe. You can't even get it as an item. I give myself a scanner here to make sure that the item command is working. And then I try again to give myself a transfuser. Yet it doesn't work. It's because the item doesn't exist. There's also basalt chunks besides limestone, sandstone, and shale. They drop nickel, lithium, or diamond. This was the only way to obtain the materials in the earlier versions of the game. Their log says that they drop gold, diamond, and uranium, not uraninite, for some weird reason. But, according to my testing, they only drop nickel, lithium, and diamond. They look cool, though. They should have stayed. You can find barnacles on the back of reef bags that'll give you silver or copper. I couldn't spawn one myself, but that tiny blue barnacle looks a lot like it, but just bigger. The hitboxes are kind of funky, so you're going to have to look around for the copper or silver after you break it. There's this weird teleport command called Smokers that teleports you to a part of the Grand Reef. There's a big blue ghost leviathan just waiting for you when you get there. So I wouldn't recommend teleporting there in survival. I think this was meant to send a message. Don't smoke, kids. All it does is hurt you. This is what happens to smokers. You'll find that the smoker's location is uncannily close to the back of the Aurora. Yeah, there's Reapers there too. That's a weird hull enforcement thing. You can summon it, hull reinforcement module. It's weird. There's another one. It's called the Space Cyclops reinforcement module. Maybe a moon pool? And a Cleonian hull reinforcement module. There's no other mention of Cleonian in the game files at all. I looked far and wide. You can even see here I search for item type and it'll tell me. But if you've watched this far, you can chat one that stands above all of the rest. You can destroy crash fish with any type of knife. It doesn't have to be thermal, this is just my survival playthrough. See you later. Goodbye.